doing? You're completely outnumbered here. Are you nuts? You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts?
Want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
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 What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and live stream of Let's Get Nuts here on the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. I messed up that intro. It's supposed to be the other one, floats around the podcast table and all the things. So we're going to play the intro again. But guys, we got a great show for you. Star Wars galore from Hot Toys. We're going to talk a little bit about, like, are we happy? Has this been a hit? Has it been a miss? For the Star Wars figures that have announced this week, are you guys incredibly excited or feeling like maybe you're crossing your fingers for one or two more through the slot? The other thing we're going to talk about is the figure graveyard, because I did take a look just to see what's living in the graveyard lately, and there's some cool stuff that I wonder if we'll ever get a chance to see, including Star Wars things. The other questions, of course, remain to be seen. You're going to have to stick around for the video and find out. But guys, if you like the video today, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, hit the bell notifications when you can, and of course, let's get nuts.
What are you doing? You're completely outnumbered here. Are you nuts? You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts?
Want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
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 All right, we are getting extra nuts today, guys. I've got such a good panel for you folks today. I'm so excited for all these boys to be here today. Let's get our co-host of the show out here first and foremost. Of course, we got Mr. 1 Adam 12. Adam, how you doing today, good sir, on another Sunday?
May the 3rd be with you, and in advance, may the 4th be with everyone else tomorrow. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Some interesting drops, in the last week or so from Hot Toys on Star Wars. Star Wars being my favorite IP. A couple things from last week we talked about I'm interested in. This week, where's the love? Well, I'll save it for the show, but where's the love for the OT? That's what I have to say. Where's the OT?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be resounding in the community today. I'm feeling it. So great to have you back, bud. I love that hat as well, by the way. So, and you mentioned as well, you may have to pop off for a work call every once in a while. So if Adam disappears, guys, don't fret. He hasn't lost the plot or decided to give up on Star Wars halfway through. It's just a work call. So,
Grand Moff Tarkin has some assignments for me.
That's right. Good to have you back, man. Thanks for being here as always. Let's bring in our next guest of the day here. This man requires almost no introduction. He's been on Let's Get Nuts virtually from the beginning. We've got Mr. Pete from Only Fools and Collecting, a division of Collecting Weekly, here with us. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man?
Hi, guys. Yeah, always wearing the hat, just advertising the channel, which
yeah.
Obviously you are a regular panelist on, Ben. What is it with you guys having to take calls on a Sunday? That sucks. Shouldn't be.
I'm in sales, so if my phone rings, it's usually money on the table. It's one of those things.
Fair enough. I don't envy you there.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, all good. We've got tomorrow off. It's a bank holiday here, so we were off on May the 4th, so we could spend the day watching Star Wars if you want, and hopefully, if it's a good show, we'll hit May the 4th here, me and Shane, live on air.
Live on air
in a couple of hours' time.
Hell yeah! I wonder if we're gonna get anything else. I'll ask you guys in a bit. But
I'm hoping so, because there's certainly one in particular that I'm really hoping for. But yeah,
these ones rolled in really late last night, at least for my time, anyways. I was surprised to see them at that hour. So, yeah, dude, happy to have you here though, man. Thanks for being back as always. And your display behind you is looking crispy as ever, bud. So it's good to see. So
yeah,
let's bring in our next guest, of course. Once again, a man that just requires almost no introduction, as long as you can understand everything that he says, because we got one six-figure focus back in the house with us, Mr. Shane, the film expert. I love you, bud. I'm happy you are back with us here, especially during Star Wars week. How you doing, man?
I just wish there was something to talk about that's anyway decent. Let's be honest, lads.
Exactly.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I have Monday and Tuesday off, so had a good weekend so far, and sure, it's going to peak now, isn't it, in the next 2 hours because I'm here. All right, thanks.
It's going to absolutely peak, yeah. For sure. And we got already 40 people watching live in the chat. Thanks for being here, getting nuts with us so early today, guys. Today is going to be a little bit of warm-up and then mostly figure news. Normally we take a whole hour to get to figure news. I'd say we're at figure news within the first 30 minutes because there's quite a decent chunk to go through. So definitely stay tuned with us. If you don't mind hitting the like button though on your way in the door, definitely would be appreciated. But we got 2 more panelists still with us here today, guys. Let's bring out our next guest, Mr. Philly. The videographer, the photographer, Philly Z, back in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy May the 4th Eve. Do you guys usually celebrate May the 4th Eve? I know in Mexico we celebrate the Eve. Do you do the day? I guess you do the day, right? So, but yeah, hey, happy May the 4th Eve, and tomorrow will be May the 4th. And thanks for having me, man. I'm looking forward to talking about what we unfortunately saw last night. So. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Unfortunately, you'll love to see it.
Yeah.
You guys are funny. You know what? I've never actually celebrated a May the 4th Eve or day. I don't even think. I don't know if I've ever specifically watched Star Wars on May the 4th, other than being in the figure collecting community and getting excited about.
It's a joke. I meant to make it seem like it's Christmas.
Christmas,
so,
yeah.
Probably some people do, though. Let's be honest. I would not be surprised. So, in fact, our next guest might be one of those people because the man is just surrounded by some of the coolest Star Wars stuff there is. Let's bring out Luis Pop Culture Relics back in the house with us as well. Good to see you, man. Welcome back.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me. Pleasure this time of the year.
Oh yeah.
The tinglies and the feels, So excited. A lot of stuff happened, and a lot of stuff hopefully to maybe happen in the next day or so. But yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. Appreciate the love as always, and I'm ready. I'm ready for tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Bringing in the experts. Look at all these beautiful collection rooms we got here. My goodness. Hell yeah. Yes. Love it. Love it. My face. Yeah. Okay, there you go. You don't want to see that. Let's get into the show here, guys. Again, a little warm up, letting everybody roll in the door here, get their snacks and ready for the show. This popped up on my Facebook this week. I don't know if you guys know this, but I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And so there was big portions of season 1 of The Last of Us and season 2 that were shot right in Calgary and then surrounding areas like Canmore and some of the mountain villages and stuff. So very, very close in proximity. And this popped up here locally for us, The Last of Us casting call for season 3. So I was immediately like, ooh, I should throw my hat in the ring and try to get on The Last of Us. But obviously we have so many favorite film franchises or television franchises. Is there a show in which you would love to even just get a small role in the background of, if you ever had the opportunity? Where would you go? What film set or TV set would you want to be on? For me, I have to admit, I think it would be Star Trek: The Next Generation. As much as I love the world of The Dark Knight, and as much as I love so many other worlds like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, there's so many things that I love. I would love to just be a bridge crew person in the background of a Star Trek episode. I think that would be super freaking cool. But what about you, Adam? And let us know in the chat, guys, what film set or TV set would you love to be in the background of if you got a chance? What's your favorite? What about you, buddy? Where are you at?
Well, in the spirit of the holiday, I mean, it would have to be, if I was a background actor, an extra, it would have to be in the Star Wars franchise. It would have to be a Star Wars film. Absolutely. Just cast me as some background rebel or Imperial officer or, an overweight Jedi. I don't know. No, don't do the overweight.
What about
Jedi.
a TIE fighter pilot?
The overweight Jedi.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. You'd love to see it. That's awesome, dude. No, Star Wars? Hell yeah. What about you, Pete? Are you kind of in that same vein, or is there a world in which you'd like to be seen in or spotted in the background?
Based on recent Star Wars material, probably not. If I could go back in time and be involved with the original A New Hope, I think that would have been pretty mad back in those days. Pioneering, movie making and stuff like that. I think probably if it's something that's coming up soon, let's say I'd like to be an extra in The Hunt for Gollum, although I'll obviously have to give Andy Serkis a wide berth because I do hate him, as we all know. So probably something in the Tolkien world would be good. Or
Hell yeah. We got Alien Earth in there. That's pretty dope. Sopranos. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. Our boy Eric, Mr. Valkyrie Magnus, would be there hanging out in the holodeck. I love to say so many things you could do on the holodeck. That's crazy. This comment here, they just announced an Artisan Baru and Owen Lars. I don't see that on there, so you might be messing with me, but I did check. So if it does actually pop up, we'll talk about it today as well. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. And good choices, Mr. Peak. Definitely good choices. What about you, Shane? Is there a world in which you would want to live?
I don't think there's any of these worlds I want to live in. Like a lot of my favorite movies, the place they live in are kind of dystopian. I don't want to go anywhere near that Blade Runner future or the Terminator future or that Zion. It's a cave, man. I don't want to go there. It's like
exactly.
No. I kind of thinking realistically, like, because it's what TV show would I like to make an appearance in, or be a background, just to know, like kind of like what Adam's saying, just to know I know I was in the background there. Yeah. If I think logically it would have to be something that's still going. I think Peaky Blinders is actually finished, but I mean that wouldn't be too much of a stretch of the imagination to end up in the background there. You get to wear a nice suit, and surely they've got whiskey and beer on set. I think I'd be happy enough. Like that'd be it.
Well, for those that don't know, you do some pretty amazing. I want to call it cosplay, but it might even become
no. Don't call it cosplay. No, watch
yourself. I was gonna say I don't want to insult that. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like I don't know if that's what. Tell us what it's called then. In terms of your trooper setup.
I think the people who are far more interested than me would be able to give you a very, very detailed breakdown of why the differences are, but I'm not going to tell you because I'm not as knowledgeable, and also it's really, really boring and I glaze over even though I'm into it when people describe it to me. But I think the gist of it is a lot of cosplayers make their own stuff. Okay. A lot of the 501st make their own stuff too, but it's there's like these CRLs scale, basically. Right? It has to be a particular type of paint. It has to be screen accurate. There's a bit of gatekeeping, and it's gatekeeping for the right reasons. So it's like this should look like it walked off the set. So I don't make any of that stuff. I bought mine, but fun fact, it made by a company called Shepperton Studios, who was contracted in 1976 to make the original Stormtrooper molds. So mine are the same kind of molds that they would have got in 1976 to prepare for 1977. So it would be cool to be a Stormtrooper in the back of something, but kind of like what Pete says, don't put me in no accolade. You're rolling the dice with Disney these days. Like, I don't want to be anyway associated with that, or Book of Boba or whatever. So no.
That's fair. What about you, Mr. Philly? What world and TV or film would you want to either live in and or be a part of in the background as a character, if you got a chance to be?
Debbie Does Dallas? No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I think something in the future. I would love to be even a fly on the wall or battle arena, but I would like to be in Secret Wars. Even if it's like a dead alien or something, robot or something, but to be there in Secret Wars, I mean, that's going to be, if you think Avengers Endgame, and I hope that it's going to be better than that. I would love to be that part of that. So that'd be cool.
That's dope. That's super dope. Hey, it's Seven Jelly says, my brother and I were extras in The Dark Knight Rises. I'm in the football stadium. That is freaking cool.
That's awesome.
They were they shot that, I think, in the Pittsburgh. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Steelers, but I believe a real Pittsburghian would say Pittsburgh's. How about them Stillers? I think, but they I think they're the same colors as the Gotham Wildcats, the black and yellow. Would that be right?
Black and
football
yellow.
fans.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So they got all these put out a call for all these football fans to come and wear their Stillers jerseys and go into the call. I think that's how it worked. So your man must be from Pittsburgh, if I'm right.
That's very cool. People are calling you Freaky Philly in the chat here, buddy. Mr. Philly, Freaky Philly, love that. What about you, Luis? Last, but certainly not least, my friend. What would you want to live in and or be an extra on?
I gotta go with the wars, man. Closest I'll ever get being in the 501st would be trooping. I got to troop last May the 4th at Disneyland, which was amazing, as a stormtrooper, and we were the kind of the cavalcade for Diego Luna. Brought him out, super cool. So that was one for the bucket list. So realistically, something in I guess New Republic era as a stormtrooper. I'd probably be the first one dead right off the lines, realistically. But yeah, man, I would love to have a screen used stormtrooper kit, and I would retire that right on the spot. So yeah, that would be it all the way.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well said. And guys, in the chat, let us know if you haven't had a chance to answer already. I'll take a look at those comments later, or if you're watching on replay, yeah, what show or movie would you want to be in? Either live in that world or be part of it. Yeah. What's that?
Sorry, Ben. Yeah, if I was quicker off my feet with the questions, or if I'd read the show sheet that you did share, I would have said something like Andor, but Andor's over. Luis, are you actually in the 501st?
Yeah.
Okay, we should talk, man. I can get you Irish coins if coins are your thing. So
yeah, I just got back into it. The coins are a whole nother league of collecting.
Yeah.
But I love that, man, for sure.
If you need some, let me know.
Vice versa, on the SoCal side.
Hell yeah! Make sure you share it here so we can take a look.
Shane made a really great point. I mean, in many of these universes, I'd love to be an extra and as an actor. I would want to live in none of them. As Star Wars, you live in an impressive empire. If you want to live after the events of the prequels and original trilogy, and then you're dealing with the terrible incompetent government that's even more incompetent than the governments we have now that let the empire rise again. Marvel, you're dealing with being snapped away for 5 years. Scrolling
Walking Dead. I like food, not being food.
Yeah, Walking Dead. I tell my wife and daughter we love The Walking Dead. I love any type of zombie franchise. I love watching it. I want to die the first 10 minutes of that universe because I do not want to live in a world like that.
No.
Do you know what, Adam? Though, when I watch it with Megan, and we've watched it, I think we've nearly binged the whole thing 3 times. I'm always thinking certain people wear certain things in that show, and I'm like, why is Jesus wearing that coat? That's just going to get caught in something. Now, if it was me, I'd be wearing some sort of tracksuit that are they're kind of form-fitting, light, you can get away easily. Some good footwear. You need some good runners there. Critiquing all the clothes people are wearing is that'll be a terrible thing to get away from zombies.
That's right.
That's right.
Pedro Lopez says Euphoria. Blurred Dad Life says got to be an extra in Transformers 4 when they filmed at the company I was working at, and I was actually directed by Michael Bay. That's pretty crazy.
Right.
That's really, really cool. If you live in the sequel trilogy, Ray would just fix everything and only go to planets that are similar to Tatooine, so it's fine.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Then I'd also like to change my answer. I'd like to be the bike in Terminator 1.
The bike in Terminator 1.
Actually, sorry, I meant Transformers 1. Transformers 1. Sorry, I really messed this up.
You want Arnold to sit on your face?
To be fair, I was thinking of the moped. If you think about it.
Yes. Yeah.
No, Transformers is what I meant to say. But
We learned a lot about you
difference
tonight,
there.
Shane.
A real big difference. Yes, Megan Fox can sit on our face, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Good times.
Ben's demonetized, don't you, lads?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that made me cry. That's hilarious. All right, let's move on, guys. I love you guys. That's hilarious. I was scrolling Facebook the other night, right? Just being bored, and I'd gotten paid, so I had an extra $110 to just spend on myself. And I was curious, what do you guys spend money on when you're bored? Because so I started out by looking for, I'm not even kidding, a Batman cowl. I was like, it'd be cool to have a cowl in my collection room. But then I went down would I want a Keaton cowl? Would I want a Christian Bale cowl? Would I want something that looks more like Arkham Knight inspired, something that's armored, right? And then I'm thinking I could wear it. but then I'm like, I probably wouldn't actually wear it. So then, like, do I want it to be more visually stunning as opposed to more like cosplay in nature? And I somehow managed to get all the way to Star Trek. And so, yeah, it was a slippery slope. And I ended up buying myself this. This is a on Etsy, a
Cool.
replica, like 3D print essentially of a Star Trek tricorder from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's got swap out pieces. It's got metal hinges or stainless steel hinges. It's the real deal for the most part. I mean, it doesn't light up. It doesn't actually scan anything. But I think it'll be cool next to my Brent Spiner autograph picture that I got like a week ago at the Comic-Con, as well as some of my Star Trek figures. But I was like, it was just something that like I wasn't necessarily on the plan wasn't to look for this. I just kind of encountered it through my random searches to other things. And I ended up spending money on this, and then immediately was like, I probably shouldn't have spent money on that and put it back in savings. But I'm excited for this to now come. I was curious if you guys have had anything like that lately, where suddenly you've just bought yourself something that you did not expect, but you kind of love it and you're kind of stoked about it. And if you don't have one, have you got anything new recently from either Hot Toys or Six Scale collecting? Adam, I saw you shake your head, buddy. What have you been down the rabbit hole of lately? And you guys let us know in the chats as well.
So I started. I've always been a fan of these guys, Transformers, and I went down the rabbit hole of getting. First, I'm like, I'll get like an Optimus Prime. He was always my favorite Transformer, and then now I have 8 different variants of Optimus Prime, and then I started getting the Studio Series 86 figures from the animated Transformers the movie. So I have kind of a whole sub collection of Transformers now.
Hell yeah.
I was into it when I was a kid, and just kind of got back into it. It's definitely, well, there are some expensive Transformers. I have a few of the 3.0s. They're a little bit up there in price. They're getting close to the Hot Toys prices, and some of the masterpieces are kind of pricey. But they're a little more affordable if you're spending some side money on waiting for your Hot Toys.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've seen a couple people say, yeah, Transformers is a rabbit hole for sure. Some people just saying Hot Toys, which makes sense, but I mean, they're expensive. So sometimes if you just have that little bit of extra money, but you don't have a whole chunk, right? It's something to think about. Detective says, I'm so tapped out. They haven't announced any 426 40th anniversary toys yet. Yeah, that's very true. What about you, Mr. Pete? Is there anything that you randomly will buy yourself out of nowhere and think it's kind of awesome, but wasn't part of the plan?
I don't know.
Or have you done anything new this week?
Dave's Man Cave. He's got the Tomy Enterprise refit. I would love that model.
Dude, yeah.
It's.
I've seen a lot of people get it now.
It's 700. It was £700 in the UK, and I couldn't justify it. And there's been a lot of QC issues with it, but I would love one of those. I think recently I got the Hot Toys TIE Fighter pilot, which I really like. I think it's a great figure, and fills an important hole in my A New Hope collection. I very much go in hard on stuff, so I'll be like, I'll buy one of these things, and then all of a sudden I've bought 20 figures, and that would be recent ones I can think of would be like the retro collection for the carded 3.75 figures. I was like, oh, yeah, I just want the first 12. I've got loads now, and also Black Series as well, because I've kind of given up. I mean, it could happen with Hot Toys as well. I've kind of given up ever having the set of the Bounty Hunters in 6 scale. I'm not paying the stupid sideshow money for them. Obviously, I've got Boba Fett, but I thought with the Black Series 6-inch ones, they're really good, so I'll just get them. And I thought, another little 12 scale display, and then I was like, oh, the New Hope ones are really good now. Like, they've just redone a lot of them. So I've ended up, spending about £500 on Black Series stuff. So I'm very, I do it a lot where I just go in and go, I'll get a couple of figures, and then all of a sudden I've got the whole line kind of thing, and it gets a bit out of hand. But it's all good fun, isn't it? Really, who needs money anyway?
Absolutely. Well, you could, it's you only live once. You're gonna die tomorrow. Yeah, that's why I was like, I need this tricorder. It looks freaking awesome. I can't find another one that I like more.
You need to get like a holster for it so you can wear it around.
Well, so Yeah, so it actually comes with a magnetically attachable holster on your belt if you want to wear it around, which is pretty cool. Or you can put it on this display stand, which is also pretty fun. So, yeah, very, very cool. But like, I was also at Comic-Con last weekend, and I spotted a couple Lego minifigures that I need to fill out, like some of my Star Wars and my Lego Simpsons and everything. And even there, I ended up spending $70 on Lego figures for the collection room, and I was like, they just add up, right? It's insane. It's insane. So what about you, Mr. Shane? Things that you may not expect to buy yourself, but suddenly it's in your basket, or are honestly, you so strategic all the time?
Yeah, it's option B there, man. I would like it's. I just at the moment, there's definitely things that I would see. I'm like, oh, I want that, and then I just kind of just think about it for a while, and I don't because my pre-order list is the longest it's ever been, and it's like I see these posts that are kind of, you know, definitely around the COVID time, there was people who were like, you know, they just got into the game and they kind of almost bragging that they've like 50 pre-orders. I'm just like, those chickens, man, they're going to come home to roost. And I'm nowhere near that, thankfully, but it's still a lot for me because the strikes for the movie industry and the lack of, say, like last year, any tentpole Marvel or DC or basically Star Wars movie meant that they went back to the well, and the well that they went back to it just suited me right down to the ground. People talk about the big three all the time, Marvel, DC and Star Wars, but for me it's the big four: Terminator, RoboCop, Alien and Predator, and they made pretty much the versions of the characters from the movies that I wanted, and they're either behind me now or they're on pre-order, and because of that my pre-order list is very long, but it's stuff that I'm excited for, but it's just like there's no wiggle room there for me.
That's fair.
Plus I've got some module cases coming in to fit a completely different display, like on the opposite end of this room, so there's going to be something you won't be able to see. It's very different to this, and that cost a few grand. So
definitely.
I'm paying off that, so I'm down to like, you know, a few €100 left. So when I think of, oh god, I wouldn't mind buying that figure, or if I get that impulse, I'm like, no, just pay €50 off that bill, because that's just where I'm at the moment. There's not much wiggle room, so yeah.
So there's not even figures that end up like in your basket, and then you're like at the very last second, nope, doesn't fit.
Because like the whole basket thing is, I think that's a sideshow thing really, or maybe if people buy off Amazon or other places, whereas I don't even use the Line Rocks site. I just message him and go, here, what's your best price for this? And if I like it, I'll get it, and if not, I won't. Okay. So there's no basket. It's just like, yeah, this is the price, and I shoot him on 20% on PayPal, and that's it. So I don't really have that basket issue. It's just like,
I could learn some self-control.
It keeps me, you either want this or you don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Ben, put your credit card in a glass of water in the freezer in a lockbox.
Nah, man, cash is king.
There you go. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you don't have the cash, you shouldn't spend it, right? I've heard people say that before. What about you, Mr. Philly? Has there been any, impulse purchases for you lately, either on the figure side or just in life, that you're like, I wasn't planning that, but now I've got this coming?
Unfortunately, I'm not as disciplined as Shane. I wish I could be, but Transformers is one of them. I collect 3-0 Transformers, the premium scale, so I got a few of those. Luckily, they haven't done one in a while, so I'm saved there. Light boxes, that's another thing. Helmets, and you mentioned cowls. I actually have a replica of the Ben Affleck BVS cowl, which is actually, it fits really snug on me. It's like a smaller version of it, but it's really well done. And then the one thing too that lately it's been Power Rangers. I said originally that I was going to just get the initial 5 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I don't know, 25 Power Rangers later, I guess I was wrong. So as you well know, they have almost 25 years of seasons, and So Toys and 3-0 have been taking advantage of that. And I remember 5-6 years ago, I would wish for a Power Ranger figure. In fact, I think I remember a third-party company made them. They did a semi-okay job, and I still have those, the original 5. But it was a very kind of underground company, and they did a good job with it. But then 3.0 announced them, and my collection's been growing. So that's the worst one right now, because I said original 5, and yet I have about 25 of them already. So gotta cut down. Yeah,
that's wild. On the Power Rangers front, I could only justify the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was the one that had the most nostalgia for me. But those 3.0 Rangers are awesome, considering like their price. Like they're sweet. So. But yeah, no, well said, buddy. Well said. We got a couple folks in the chat here saying my whole collection is my impulse purchase. You'd love to see that. What about you, Mr. Luis? Anything lately that's been either an impulse buy for you, or something that just really wasn't planned for your collection, but you're excited about it?
Yeah, and a couple. Lego's been one of that slippery slope. I think last time we chatted about it, I got the UCS Falcon, the one that's gonna retire at the end of the year. Once I got that, I was like, man, this is kind of amazing. I always liked Lego growing up, of course, but I mean, the sets are not cheap. And that was it. I feel like my Lego collection will eventually be like all minifigs of every Hot Toys that I have. Just naturally, now I want those in like a minifig scale. So that's been kind of my thing. I plan on going to Lego store tomorrow and try to take advantage of some of the May the 4th sales that they have on like the quadruple points. But then just last week, Disney did this like Spirit Jersey mystery, and I hate those blind boxes, but they did it for the Spirit jerseys. And I'm like, you know what? Rather take a chance on buying 1 or 2 that I don't want out of the 6. I bought the whole box, and it was like $600. And I'm just like, I never wear Spirit jerseys, but it's that like FOMO, and that they brought back original trilogy in the prequels. And it's by Drew Struzan, the special edition for the original trilogy. So that got me, and I was like, I didn't need that 100%, but you know what? You only live once, right? And
definitely, dude.
I needed it in that moment, so at least I'll be warm, and I can change what I'm wearing for 6 days of the week.
That's fair. No doubt. A Lego is a deadly purchase for me, dude. I freaking love Lego, but every time I go into that store, I'm shocked by the pricing. And like, that's coming from like a 6-scale collector where you think we'd be conditioned to a couple $100s at the time nowadays. But like, holy crap, like even some of the smaller sets now are like $90 to $150, and it's like, I can't do it most of the time. So like the minifigures I love. I do have a display coming for just minifigures by themselves. It's for 300 minifigures behind like glass, and so I'm stoked for that because I've got about 400. So I'm gonna have to figure out which of those I want to display. But either way, like I love Lego. I just have a hard time with the price, and displaying it in a classy way can be challenging. Zach, shout out to Zach from Collecting Weekly. He's 3D printing me like a wall suspending hanger for my Enterprise D, because it's so big on a table, like horizontally, that I'm going to try to find a wall for it to hang it vertically. So, but yeah, I mean, freaking Lego's a good one. So, 400 minifigures, zoinks. Yeah, man. So I started collecting Lego minifigures before I started collecting 6-scale. It was actually that's actually what got me into collecting 6-scale, because I was having such a good time just collecting characters. And then I wanted to see what the most realistic Heath Ledger Joker was that I could find. And back then it was the DX11. And that's what sold my love for 6-scale collecting from the get-go. So,
go
ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Really quickly, it's funny now that I've gotten into Lego, I feel like all of a sudden there's like a surge in like Lego collecting. There's even these, at least here in California, we had 2 of these big like sting operations where people were swapping the minifigs and putting pasta in the boxes and resealing it, and saying, just stealing the minifig, resealing it, getting the refund, and even like, so it's crazy, man. Lego is going up, and because of that, there's a lot of theft now. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's not just for kids. My wife's like, my Lego, I'm like, it's not just for kids. It's awesome.
No,
Pokemon too. It's got a whole underground thing going on.
Underground.
Yeah,
those are the new stocks.
Well, any of those things that have value too, right? I mean, it's gonna create a black market for it even if they're not available, right? Like that's the crazy part. So, guys, we have about 60 people watching live. Thank you so much for getting nuts with us here on Sunday. Let's get into our figure news. But before we do, I do want to say hi to our chat like we always do. And just a quick reminder here that right now, if you're a channel member, some of you guys have still been reaching out to me to ask what happened with your membership. Just a reminder, the channel is currently demonetized. It's demonetized until I can appeal it on July the 5th. So until then, if you are a channel member, your membership is currently on pause until I can reapply for it through YouTube. If for some reason YouTube does not remonetize the channel, I'm going to continue on with the channel no matter what, because I like doing this as a hobby and like hanging out with the boys and like chatting with you guys either way. But there's costs associated with the channel, such as StreamYard, figure giveaways, some of those things. And so I was encouraged to consider either Patreon or the Buy Me a Coffee link. The Buy Me a Coffee link I thought was the easiest because it's just a QR code you can scan. So if you guys feel like supporting the Ben Thomas Show outside of just watching and liking and subscribing, if you want to do a little bit more, it's always appreciated. There is a member link in that QR code as well. So if you want to be registered as a channel member once again right away, you can also sign up for the membership there. But again, no pressure. It's really just there for you guys. And I said last week, as soon as I hit $500, the first $500 I'm going to take, and we're going to immediately buy a figure with it for somebody and do a giveaway here on the show. So again, want to put that right back to you guys. But either way, scan the link if you want to support the show there. Yeah? Were you going to say something? Thought I heard somebody say something.
I just said very nice. Very, very
oh, yeah. Cheers.
Kind.
Cheers, for sure. Oh, no, I appreciate everybody and all the support over the years. Yeah. So it goes a long way. So, like, guys, as is tradition, let's say hi to the chat.
Is that everyone? I can put it more.
Nuts!
Assemble.
Nuts assemble. We've got lots of people here. Mr. Valkyrie Magnus joining us. Mr. Eric, hope you're doing well, buddy. Dub Toys, good evening from Ireland. Good to see you there. Six Scale Shills, love to see you here, buddy. I was on their show 2 Saturdays ago for a 4-hour live stream, but if you missed it, go back and watch it. It was hilarious with those guys. Really, really fun. So I call him Detective because I can't read the name otherwise. Here with us, give us a Sith Lord Jar Jar, you cowards. Absolutely. That'd be awesome. Now, 1 Adam 12th here with the show and on the panel with us as well. We got, hey, it's 7 Jelly in the chat with us. Thanks for being here. As always, we got Jag Life. I think that's Lane Kramer. I maybe he's changed it. I could be wrong. Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
We got NW Collector with us as well. Good to see you here, my friend. Thanks so much. Dream and Visions back with us again. Good to see you here back. Thalia Meyer with us here. Big thank you to Thalia specifically. They gave me a very large Buy Me a Coffee the other day. And it was extremely generous. So, like, wow. Like, thank you very, very, very much. I really, really appreciate that generosity. We got Thor Gaming, my brother, in the chat here. Do we get a live long and prosper? Live long and prosper, my friend. Good to see you back, bud. There. We got the Star Wars universe with us as well. Here for the show on all the Star Wars stuff, obviously. Blurred Dad Life with us here as well. Once again, Ron E as well. One of the big donations there as well recently. So, dude, again, thank you so much as well. We got Alexander Villa. 6548. Hello there. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being back. Doug Guito in the chat with us as well. Mr. 16 Figure Focus, Mr. Shane on the chat and in the panel, of course. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody there, guys. Philly Z with us on the channel and on the panel, telling everybody to like it as well. You love to see it. We got Blinkins. These Hot Toys announcements have been a little late, April Fools, right? Maybe that Anakin. We're going to talk about that here pretty quick too. So. Let's see. I think I got almost everybody. Mr. Moose Stream, of course. Wouldn't be a show without you, bud. We got Pedro Lopez here. Dave's Man Cave in real life. I think that's almost everybody, guys. Thanks for being cool, bearing with me. Curtis Booth. Hey, Ben and friends. Super happy I'm not late. Better late than never, my friend. Always. I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, guys, call it out in the chat. And I will make sure I say hi to you. Yomo in there as well. Almost missed Yomo. You don't want to miss Yomo. Actually, I think Yomo's face ends up on some of my screenshots today, guys, if I'm not mistaken. The Charlie the Unicorn wouldn't be a show without you either, buddy. And Rogue One Photography as well. Vita, aka her geeky side. Man, I missed like 5 people. You hate to see it. All right, I think that's everybody. Blackbird Tech. Jedi Knights Watch. If you are missing the Wednesday Wolfpack Wednesday show, make sure you see that show every single Wednesday night. Those boys are freaking awesome. Love watching their show. All right, that's it. Let's move on with our show. Love to see you guys here. Thanks for being with us and hitting the like button. It's always super appreciated. And in advance, if anybody buys a coffee, I love your faces. Thank you as well. Hasbro is dropping a $599 movie accurate Grogu collectible, standing at 14.6 inches tall and weighing nearly 9 pounds. It's a 1-to-1 replica based on the film's stand-in props. It also packs in over 250 animations and sound effects. This popped up this week. I actually think this may have already sold out, if I'm not mistaken, with the pre-order. I did see, I think, a pre-order that had
the first wave sold out. Yeah,
the first wave, yeah.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I didn't expect there to be that much love for this, if I'm completely honest, just based on the price point alone. I saw some people in the chat going like, I don't care if it talks and blinks, like $600 for anything is wild. But then I was also thinking, like, as Hot Toys collectors and 6-scale collectors, and as a result sometimes the 1-to-1 collectors, $600 is expensive, but if it does all of the animatronics and movements and winking its eyes at you and waving and being cute and all the things, is that extra couple $100 worth it? Or alternatively, you can still look at a stand-in for your collection like the $285 Grogu we saw not that long ago for pre-order, in comparison to the $600 animatronic one. Is there a world in which any of your collections, guys, whether you're watching live here with us or in the panel, that you would justify the $600 to get the animatronic one? Does that make sense for a display? I'll give my answer at the end. What are your thoughts, Adam? Does this make sense for you or for collectors?
You know, I watched, I think it was CNET News, one of their influencers on that was able to visit Hasbro and viewed this. I watched the video with my daughter the other day, and the one cause for concern that I had is she said that she was not allowed to touch the Grogu toy, and they could just film it. So there's a pre-sale, but she couldn't. That makes me think that they don't quite have this thing right. If they're not allowed to actually physically interact with it, that was a red flag with me. You know, when they showed I don't know who had it. Maybe it was Will's channel had a comparison between the Hot Toys and the Hasbro version. It's very noticeable that the Hot Toys one is a much superior head sculpt, and the Hot Toys is really just, it looks like a toy, but the advantage is that it makes the noises and it moves. It's got sensors on it. I mean, it's cool, like from my daughter's perspective, she's like, yeah, but that one moves. But even I said there, well, look at the differences in the head sculpts. It's the one, the Hot Toys is much, that's lifelike. I have the Sideshow life-size Grogu. You may be able to barely see it behind me. And I like that a lot. I really do. I am kind of interested in Mandalorian and Grogu. My expectations are extremely low. I love the first 2 seasons of the show. The 3rd season, not so much. And I actually have thought about getting not the most recent life-size Hot Toys Grogu with the Beskar shield, but the one with
this is the one on the left, by the way. This is the one on the left, Hot Toys, by the way. Left on the Hot Toys, right is the animatronic one, just so you guys know.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty obvious that just looking at the head sculpts, the Hot Toys is so much. I mean, that's lifelike,
cuter.
Yeah. The question is how, if $600 for this, how much are you going to be using that sensor thing? Is that it's like a gimmick that is funny, and cute for like a couple hours, a day or two, but if you, in the end of the day, it's just going to be sitting on your shelf as a display. Is that something that you're going to want that lifelike motion and sound all the time. You know, if you're a kid, yeah, you're gonna have fun with that. But how many parents, unless you're very wealthy, are going to spend $600 on a toy for their kids? I mean, clearly this is not aimed. This is aimed at the adult toy collector market, not aimed at the kids.
Or arguably even maybe cosplay, right? Because like if you could bring it along with you if you're dressed up as Mando, like that could be pretty cool. That's going that next level. I agree with you though that like for me, if it's in like once the nostalgia of it being able to move is off, you know, is kind of over and it's just sitting there. I think if it was just sitting in the display, I think the Hot Toys for me wins it in terms of the likeness and the look of it and like the realness to it and the cuteness, as well as the price point is significantly better. The animatronic one reminds me a little bit of like the Home Depot Christmas decorations that you get that like move and stuff when you walk past them, but like just an amped up version. But I mean, no shade to anybody who got this. What about you, Pete? Is there a market for one-to-one animatronic characters like this? Because there are other characters, and even just the Star Wars world, that if this takes off, this could be a thing.
I think they're both horrible, to be honest. I'm not a big Grogu fan anyway. And
I forgot you don't like Grogu.
Wrestling with myself as to whether I actually want to pay to go and see the movie or not. I mean, if I was buying one, it would definitely be the Hot Toys. You know, the head sculpt alone. The other one, I've not seen what it does, what have you. I mean, obviously, I would love to have. I don't know if it's technically animatronic, but I would love to have one of those R2D2s that like you guys have got, and I think that does a little bit of moving his head and lights and bits and pieces. So an R2 would work for me, but yeah, I don't have any, and that's a lot of money, $600.
And there was that Home Depot R2. For it was like $300, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's the bargain of the century. That one, I'd love to have one, but I'm not going to spend the money to get one shipped over here. But no, this just looks. The one on the right, I mean, it looks really cheap. I think. I don't know what he does, but yeah, not for me. Definitely not for
you.
me.
Not for you.
No.
Quick shout out to Rogue One Photography, sent in a coffee for $6.79. Thank you so much. He says here, my contribution towards Shane's PO that he has promised to me make during the show. So we are $7 closer to to that goal for Shane. So
if you get $100 worth of coffee donations in this show,
donate. Yeah.
Now I might leave early, but I'm just saying in this show,
leave early.
I'll pre-order online. I'll buy something online.
Oh, that's fair. Since we got you,
that's fair.
Since we got you, Shane, what are your thoughts here? Is there a market for a one-to-one animatronic version of some of these small characters?
It's Star
Maybe
Wars,
it's not Grogu
man.
for you, but what about you?
There's a reason Lucas kept the rights to the merchandise. Like this stuff will sell, mightn't sell to our demographic of 1/6 scale collectors. But if I've no interest in any of them, if I was to buy one, it would be the one on the left because it does look more lifelike and closer to the animatronic puppet, whether it moves or not. If the movement is the thing that does it for you, buy a radio controlled car. But like we don't collect sort of things can move or whatever. Like there are nice touches. Like I love the way the jazzing turbine spins on the 89, and I always thought that Mark 1 Iron Man little fan that spun, I thought that was a nice touch. But yeah, I don't think any of the three Hot Toys one-to-one Grogus have really stuck the landing in terms of the looking exactly like it did on the show. But it looks so much better than the one on the right. I think the one on the right it just really looks plastic, where looking at one on the left is making an attempt to look organic.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I can agree with that. I like that you said that the Hot Toys one actually looks more like the puppet itself, because I agree, especially if it's just standing there. I think the realism is there. And a quick shout out, we just got another super chat from the One Adam 12. Says, may the 4th be with you. Gave a $10 super chat. So this one is for Rogue One Photography. This is for you. And of course, Mr. Adam, you're my number one guy, bud. Thanks for being here and for your donation.
Remember, you are my number one guy.
Number one guy.
Nice.
Guys, we have 90 people watching live in the chat. That might almost be a new record for Let's Get Nuts. So thank you so much for being here. Get nuts with us on a Sunday. If you don't mind hitting the like button, it would definitely be super appreciated for sure. But Philly, What about you, bud? You've got like practically a Darth Vader in behind you there. Would Grogu walking through your house be something you'd be looking for animatronically?
If it can't fetch me a beer, I'm out. But I mean, how many times have we all bought, a gimmicky, gadget that it's like, oh, this is cool, it does this, but 6 months from there it breaks down and you have no warranty and you throw it away or it's obsolete.
True.
So I think that we're still at that point where robotics is not quite there yet. I mean, you guys seen the those recent robots that Tesla and other people are making, and most of them are CGI. So yeah, I think it looks great, but to collect something with detail, I think it would be good to go with the Hot Toys. But for me, I think the robotic one, it looks, I don't know, it looks a little less lifelike, I guess. But if you do cosplay, I think that'd be a good idea to get that. But for me, I pass, definitely for me.
Hell yeah. Charlie Unicorn says Hot Toys Star Wars got nuts. Love that. Grogu equals funzo. I hate to see it. Yeah, you don't want this thing coming to life in your display and slowly having its skin peel away.
Version.
Yeah. It's gonna be
It's a
terrifying.
Furby, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a
It'll eat
Furby.
your face. Yeah, it's just transitioned into
But
into
didn't
a
the
Grogu.
Furbies do this in the 90s?
Yeah, with the
Furbies?
little bird beaks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically the same idea, right? So, Luis, I meant to call on you first, buddy, because you do have the Darth Vader behind you. And I said Philly, my bad. What are your thoughts here? Would you see a puppet of Grogu walk through your living room for $600?
Not for 600.
I don't actually think it walks. By the way, just in case I wasn't clear. I was
like a
exaggerating
waddle.
its abilities. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
What were you gonna say?
I've gotten burned by Hasbro with the like original, the Ultimate FX sabers, where I paid $300. Then a year later they got down to like $70. Some even at Ross for like $60. So if this goes to like $300, I would consider it. And I say that like I could easily see mainly the Mandalorian costumers that are walking around in their armor, having a Grogu in the little satchel as well, like do exactly what Disney Parks is doing. I think of the price, and I remember going to Comic-Con and EFX was kind of demoing their animatronic Grogu, and I know some of the guys, and the pricing at the time they were wanting, because they were kind of the first to offer a commercial Grogu that did animatronics. They wanted about $250,000, and I think a year after I asked, did that go well with anyone? And they're like, no, we haven't sold a single one. And that was at the hype of Mando. So I see, okay, $250,000 for an animatronic Grogu versus $600. That like it's a steal at that point. But I also think if Hot Toys ditched the rubber moving mouth after their first release, I don't trust Hasbro to be able to protect that.
Because
so
it ripped right through its own jaw, right?
Yeah. So this has to be like premium, platinum silicon for me to even consider that. If you're gonna buy this, especially from Hasbro, I would see it as a perishable at one point or another, or they should at least offer some type of replacement head or skin for the most part. But for half the price, I would buy it for sure, but not for the full 600.
A slab of Grogu skin in there just in case. That sounds terrifying. You love to see it. So we got our boy Mr. Dean Martin here in the chat, not to be confused with Dean Knight. He is Dean the Martin Dream. You'll love to see it. Happy to have you here, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And we got to get Dean back on the show here pretty soon. Yeah, it's been a while since we got nuts with that man. But guys, let's continue on with the show though. We got Anakin Skywalker concept art version, artisan edition. Popping up for the May the 4th week here as part of their release schedule from Hot Toys, or announcement schedule, I should say. This looks pretty crazy. I will be honest. The coiffed hair is pretty deadly. Now, there is an image here. Let me get to it real quick. of the actual concept art of this Anakin Skywalker and what it looks like. And I will say, honestly, I think Hot Toys actually didn't do a bad job of this by any stretch. I think it's hilarious that they've dived in on another Anakin. I've seen lots of memes today, or lots of like AI generated artwork going up from collectors of Anakin in various different outfits, like Game of Thrones style outfits. Ronald McDonald was one of them.
Dracula.
Like this, Dracula was in there, right? It's like, you know, they can go pretty ham on Anakin. It seems like, you know, like, man, it's crazy to me. There was a time where I remember seeing Darkside Anakin. You could barely give that figure away at one point, and then that thing just absolutely skyrocketed in value. And ever since then, Anakin has just been this like hot commodity for collectors. But are we getting to the point now where like there's just too many? Like, at what point are there too many Anakins, or how many Anakins does one collector possibly need? Is the answer all of the Anakins, or maybe it's this one specifically? I think it looks good. I think the hair is funky, but it does kind of look like that. The fact that it's got the interchangeable eyeballs right in the box, I do think is cool. And I think that's now the second time we've seen Hot Toys give a figure with interchangeable eyeballs. So I think that's pretty cool that that's going to be potentially a feature we can look forward to down the line. Especially for characters like, I've got the Jinx figure, for example. It would have been cool to have her come with blue as well as her like purple violet eyes and stuff. So all that is cool. This is a skip for me, 100%. Shout out to our buddy Six Scale Treasures on Instagram. After the show, if you don't already follow Six Scale Treasures on Instagram, he does some great comparison shots. I'm going to scroll through these guys while you guys give your take on Anakin Skywalker. You know what, Luis, I'm going to go to you first on this one, actually, buddy, because I'll be curious what you have to say with regards to concept art Anakin on the screen. And again, I'll show some comparisons for this year. What are your thoughts?
I'm a sucker for Anakin. My son's middle name is Anakin, and this was tempting, but I just can't get behind. Like, I see Hot Toys as like quality control gone bad on their dark side sculpts, and they're like, you know what? Let's just not waste these rooted hair jobs and let's make this concept version, right? Like, just completely last minute decision. And I just see that as being the main inspiration. So I'm okay in passing on this. Like, I have the dark side, I have the Sideshow exclusive dark side rooted one. So eventually I'll have like 4 of the artisan Anakins, 2 light, 2 dark. But this one, I don't need a 5th one at this point. And I'm totally happy I'm passing on this because of that. What I will say, and I was shocked that I could have seen Hot Toys put leather tabards on this. And I feel like if they would have made leather tabards, it would have probably inspired more people to buy it. And at that point, I maybe would have bought it simply because it would have been leather. But thankfully they didn't. They didn't think that far ahead, and they didn't go too Hot Toys on that part. But I'm sure it's a matter of time. So
I think you're right. I think it's a matter of time, but I don't know if it's a matter of time within the artisan line. I feel like the artisan line's really staying away from the premium materials. I think we're going to get a DX version of Anakin at some point that has the leather potentially. But sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's unfortunately what I've been noticing is with these artisans, especially Anakin, just when you think you're safe with one, then comes another, and then this 4th version, essentially. But yeah, I mean, there's some shots where it looks good, more as a silhouette, but I just see it as like, let's not waste the heads that we've, kind of botched originally, and just straighten the hair a little more, add a little bang on it. And now we've got a whole new figure that we can sell for, the same price.
Well said. Well said. Would this be a hit or a miss for you?
This would definitely be a miss for me. I have no intention of getting. There are concept collectors. I have the concept Darth Maul release, just being a sucker for Maul. But if anybody wants it, it's very niche. So maybe if it's discounted for the right price, I can get it. But to pay full retail, definitely not for me.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Mr. Adam, same question for you, buddy. What are your thoughts here of the concept art Anakin? Hit or miss for you in terms of Star Wars week this week?
Well, I'll answer your question earlier about how many Anakins do you need. And I think this is the Iron Man for Star Wars for Hot Toys. They'll just keep producing more and more of these because there is a demand, and for some people, they'll get every Anakin they can. This reminds me of I think it's interesting. It reminds me of with the coif. This is like the glam metal. As a child of the 80s, this is like the glam metal Anakin. He could. I almost want to get this and do a YouTube short with Aha's "Take on Me" or "Flock of Seagulls." Because this is very very reminds me of that hairstyle of those glam. Either the new wave or glam metal bands of the 80s. It's a pass for me. I have several Anakins already, and if I was going to get another Anakin, it would be the one that's coming out probably any day, any month now, with the that pairs with the Episode 3 Obi-Wan on the base. Even though I do have a dark side version on that previously, I almost want to get that just to pair the two. But I think I'm kind of Anakin
dark side
out.
and light side interchangeable.
Yeah,
like you could do. I like that one
and
a lot,
that's
actually.
That's I'm not sure they came with an artisan version. I think it was just sculpted. I could be wrong. I have like 4 Anakins already. I'm Anakined out. I'm done. I'm good.
I think most people already have what feels probably like their definitive Anakin, right? You'd think so.
With the exception of, I don't know if they're going to do
Padawan
it, but Padawan Anakin. I really think we need an Episode 1 Anakin, a Jake Lloyd
Because
Anakin.
I think 100%. Sorry, I was
that one. Other than that, I think I'm Anakined out.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Mr. Pete, you're a big Star Wars fan. How many Anakins can one person have in their collection?
No. Firstly, I think this is terrible, and I think it's a real waste of one of the slots. If we're only going to get 8, I think it is figures, Star Wars figures. I think this is a waste, really. I've got the one that Adam was talking about, the Mustafar one on pre-order. I think the sculpted hair on that one looks fantastic. The hair on this thing's crazy, and it's very there's a lot of people doing Count Dracula, and I think that kind of with the pieces over the shoulders, it has that very like a medieval or a kind of an old school look to it, which I suppose kind of works from a sort of Sith point of view, but I don't know, it just doesn't. And again, it's pretty much the same underneath, and we're still getting pleather and stuff like that, and it's it doesn't feel like a premium thing. I think it's probably just quite a bit of a lazy release. And how many people, even massive like Episode 3 fans, probably didn't even know this was a thing. I don't think it's anything that anyone's been crying out.
I've never seen it before.
No, exactly. And and there's probably thousands of concept drawings for every character and every movie. So and I just don't think it's not really a banger, is it? So definitely no interest in this one from me.
All right, so that's 3 skips so far on the panel.
Yeah.
It says in the chat here, I do have a poll going, guys, so let us know in the poll. We got 10% buying Anakin is a yes, and 90% so far who have voted are saying no. So that's a big portion of you guys out there. Make sure you hit that vote. Mr. Shane, I haven't seen your preview video yet. Shane released a preview video right before the show this afternoon, guys. So if you missed it, make sure you watch it after Let's Get Nuts today. But you can
Don't bother.
Thoughts
Don't
here.
bother. Don't bother.
Yeah, I can tell.
Don't bother. Don't bother watching, lads. I'm going to save you all a few minutes of your life because there's a few things I talk about. I spent about 5 seconds on this. This is absolute nonsense. One of the greatest prototypes. I'm going to wrap this up quick because I don't really want to talk about it. One of the greatest prototypes I've ever seen in 1/6 scale was the original light side artisan. Now go back and look at the prototype for the first artisan. That and the Joker come out on the same day. It was a fantastic looking head sculpt. The head sculpt looked exactly like Hayden Christensen. The style of the hair and the hair as well. He's a very, very big but dry hair in that movie. He doesn't have product. Then when it came out, it was one of the greatest prototype assassinations we've ever seen. No disrespect to anyone who picked up any of the umpteen versions of this. It wasn't good for the light side. It's not good for the dark side. It's not good for the Sith Apprentice. The sculpt doesn't look like we got it. It's a bait and switch. Now, what this figure does, like, I know the phrase, who is asking for this? I'll tell you, no one was asking for this. If I had one person say, you know what I'd really like? That one concept art one. It's not like Dark Empire Luke, where at least that's from an actual comic book where people have read and they really liked. This here, they're just Lewis is right. They're trying to get the money's worth out of that sculpt, and they've leaned into all the things that are bad about the actual hair. The hair volume is bigger. There's more product, and they've given this quiff. That's it. I do not think that's good. If you like it, more power to you. It'd be a boring world if we all like the same things.
That's fair. Very fair. And I mean, that hair is going to get even more wild if you want to try and swap out those eyes a couple times. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be crazy.
Put a beard on him. He's Wolverine, man.
He's a Wolverine. Yeah, it's wild. Actually, we'll probably get a Hugh Jackman Anakin variant as well at some point. We'll see how that goes. What about you, Mr. Philly? Would this be a hit or a miss for you for Star Wars Week? Is this one that you like? And what are your thoughts on the Artisan line at this point, Philly? Like, where Artisan is going, their trajectory. What do you think of Artisan overall?
Personally, I think this is a big swing and a miss. And they're probably, this is their third strike. I mean, the last Artisan one was the Old Man Luke, which I think is still available or recently waitlisted. I mean, like a day ago. It's been sitting there for a while. Yeah, and for me personally, I've actually canceled 3 Artisan figures in the last couple of weeks because I just don't see the improvement that they've been, then we've been so desperately asking, because they're charging a lot of money for a figure that they normally used to charge $250 average, and they're putting a $100 to $200 markup because they're gluing hair on the piece, which I can probably do a better job. And it's disappointing because we all been giving them an opportunity to fix it, and it's not getting any better. So for them to be confident enough to actually give us some rando figure and still make it Artisan, it's not really looking good for them. So I think personally they need to stick with the quality and go with key figures that people have been asking, not just random concept art figures or people that, figures that nobody asked. Nobody asked for that Luke from the sequel trilogy. Nobody asked for that one. It looks great. The sculpt looks great, but nobody asked for it. I mean, so this one's another one. I mean, he looks like a modern take of Count Chocula. It's just terrible. So for me personally, I think they need to fix the whole Artisan line. They need to add those premium quality materials too to call it Artisan. If you're gonna call it glued hairline, just call it glued hairline. Don't call it Artisan, because we really thought we're gonna get premium materials.
Premium level.
This is this is an opportunity to make it a leather material piece, and they're still not even doing it. They barely just got changed with Darth Vader with the was it the Lycron suit?
Yeah,
so
I like that different material. Yeah,
it's gonna take them a while to and I hope they get the the lack of enthusiasm we're giving to them right now, because they clearly no. So
that's fair. Well said. Yeah. Well said. Grown ass version of Count Chocula. I think that's awesome. We got 9% say yes. 11% say yes. So they changed their mind at the absolute last possible second. We got 89% that says no. We got 46 votes there. So we'll end the poll here in about 2 minutes, guys. So if you haven't voted on the Anakin poll, do it there, and we'll announce that. We had 95 people watching live here a moment ago. Thanks so much for getting nuts with us on Sunday, guys. We're going to talk all the Star Wars figures today, so still got a couple more to stay tuned for. I'm excited to hear what you guys are going to say on these next ones, of course. Oh, people are asking for the QR code. There you go, my friend. Thank you so much for supporting with a coffee on the Ben Thomas Show. definitely appreciated you there as well. I don't want to keep it up too long because I don't want to, hide any of these amazing Anakin faces. You love to see it, right? So let's talk about this one, guys. So the Ahsoka Tano Padawan figure. Now, this has been lighting up the community since last night as well for various reasons. Some people excited to get this representation of the character. When I take a look at it, I think the face is very beautiful. I can see the actress who played it in the show definitely here as well. I will say that the outfit, though, is more in line, in my opinion, with the animated universe of this character. And so it's a little weird to me to see the animated look or aesthetic with the lifelike head sculpt. So that is a little bit strange. The figure itself, I mean, it's a smaller scale figure. This is basically a teenager at this point, right? She's very much a teen in the show, as well as what we saw in the live action. I don't think that there's a reason for why you would consider this if you like this representation of Ahsoka. Now, one thing I'll say, which might divide the audience a little bit, I'm not too sure if I'm honest, but I've seen a lot of people say that this is creepy. And I would just retort by saying, I think it's only creepy if you make it creepy. Like, I don't buy 6 scale figures to hypersexualize them in my display. I don't collect for that reason. I don't think most of you collect for that reason. And so to have a 6 scale child figure in your display, I think if it represents a badass representation of the character, there's nothing wrong with that. Harry Potters are popular. We were just talking about having potentially a Jake Lloyd at some point in the display from Phantom Menace. Like, would those be creepy? Because they're boys versus girls. Like, now here's the thing: is this character overexposed in terms of the outfit? Yeah, I can understand why. To a certain extent, it's like, the outfit's a little maybe risque for a teenager. Fair, totally fair. But that is what this character looked like on the screen. And so if we collect Hot Toys for 1/6 scale representations of characters that we love, then I think this is pretty close. Again, my criticism here is I think they should have kept it an animated sculpt, not the realistic looking sculpt. I think that's throwing people off. But I would just say overall, like, you don't have to like this. You don't have to think it's great. You don't have to think anything along those lines, but don't make it creepy necessarily, because that to me makes figure collecting then as a result creepy. As I said, I don't collect, like, I love Scarlett Johansson, for example, but I didn't collect her Black Widow figure because I think she specifically is sexy. I collected her because she's a badass as Black Widow. She just happens to be a beautiful person. This is a teenager. Don't hypersexualize a teenager. I think that is weird. But don't make it weird. This is what the character looks like. Yeah. So I'll get off my box there now. What do you guys think here with regards to the Ahsoka Tano? I do like the little alien creature. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts are, Mr. Shane.
So I don't think it's necessarily that simple, to be honest. I don't think it's necessary because
happy to be challenged.
While I won't judge anyone for buying it, because because I'm just not going to do that, and I agree with you. It's only creepy if you make it creepy. But I will say this: why did they give Anakin armor in Clone Wars, but then dress Ahsoka like this? Do you not think that's a bit weird? Because I think that's a bit weird. Mm-hmm. You cannot argue that point. I mean, if anyone wants to argue the point, they can. But like Anakin had armor in the Clone Wars, but yet they dressed this. I think she's supposed to be 14 here. I think that's a bit weird, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's weird if someone wants to buy it. I get it.
The cartoon, buying it. You mean? Like, you think it's
weird?
Yeah,
as in this is branded the Clone Wars.
How she was drawn. Yep.
This is branded the Clone Wars.
Exactly. Yep.
Did you check that?
You mean it was?
This what you're looking at on screen is what you're looking at is branded the Clone Wars. It is not branded Ahsoka show. Did you know that?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's weird that it's not an animated sculpt. It's weird that they gave her the live action sculpt.
But they have always given. The Hot Toys have always not gone fully animated into the sculpts. They've always taken the likeness of the actor and merged them. For example, Tamora Morrison, I hope he's getting well paid, because when you look at any of those clones that come with a head sculpt that are branded the Clone Wars and supposed to be fully animated, they've never done that. They always merge some sort of like a midpoint between animated, but you can still see Tamora Morrison's likeness. The only exception, and the same with like Obi-Wan and so on, but the only exception to that would have been I think the Ahsoka one, because when she was announced as Rosario Dawson hadn't appeared yet as live action, so she doesn't look like Rosario Dawson.
Right.
Sideshow actually tried to do the actual direct animated version, but that didn't turn out so good. So with this here, like I wouldn't judge anyone who would purchase this, because they're probably just buying it because they love the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars is extremely popular. And this was probably the move they were going to go for, because they've done that for all the other ones. The only difference is Ariana Greenblatt played the role of Ahsoka in the Ahsoka show after the Clone Wars had long finished. Do you get me? So maybe it's a bit weird that they're using the live action version there. The second thing I'm going to say as well, like, I do think it weird the way Anakin gets normal clothes or armor and then she doesn't in the actual Clone Wars, because I've watched them all.
That is weird.
I zoned out for a lot of them because there's a lot of filler in that show.
There is, yeah.
But there's some fantastic arcs as well.
For sure.
The last point I'd like to make as well is that with her, there's something else. There was another point I'm trying to make. I'm going to have a think about. There was another point that I wanted to make, but that was the main takeaways. Yeah, I'm not going to judge anyone for wanting to get it, but do you know what it is? The last one. This is what I remember. We're crying out for a episode 1 Anakin. Yeah, who's like a 10-year-old boy, correct?
Yep.
Fully covered up. Do you know, but everyone wants it because it's a integral part. He's literally the start of Vader's journey. There's collections out that are incomplete because they have the Vader from the Kenobi show, they got the Vader Return to Jedi, you've got that table coming, they've got multiple different Anakins, including Anakins from live action, Anakins from the Clone Wars, but they don't have that one piece of the puzzle. Like, no one would judge if anyone bought an Anakin. Do you know? To be fair? Yeah, so it's like, why do Hot Toys refuse to do Anakin, but yet they'll do a version of Ahsoka which is meant to be 14 dressed like this? Do you know? That's my thoughts.
Let me jump in, Ben, and I'm going to go a little bit against
Lloyd license thing, but go ahead, Felix.
I'm going to go a little bit against the grain. First of all, I'm not judging anybody like Shane said and like you did. You collect what you love. I don't love it, so I'm not going to collect it. And it comes from a different perspective, because, and I would say some of these guys in the panel would agree with me, because we have young daughters, and the choices they made here, in my own eyes, were not made right. They don't seem, it's not appropriate. And for me, it's not, yeah, exactly. And in a world that we're hyper doing everything, I mean, good example, the actress, I don't know what's her name, but Stranger Things, she grew up 11. Too fast. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, what's her?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like Hollywood entertainment. They do that a lot, and they push, and they gotta slow down. They have to think, you know, how to be appropriate. And I'm surprised that I'm even surprised Disney even approved this. But it is based on the cartoon. That's the way they drew her. It's different. They should have done animated, but also it doesn't feel right. And for those who still, you know, I'm not trying to ruin the you know, this, you know, release for people that actually want it. I never seen the show, so for me, I cannot relate. For those that used to watch the show, they can relate to this and they love it, and they see it as, this is a cool figure, I want part of my collection, and that's it, nothing else. So for me, I cannot see it that way, and unfortunately, you know, passed for me. But coming from as a father, it's a very different perspective, and I can probably say that Luis and probably Adam can agree with me with that.
Yeah, I think.
Also, sorry, I know I'm cutting in again. Just one last thing. Just a point. They've given her a belly button, but they didn't give Margot Robbie a belly button for some reason. I don't think the Margot Robbie Suicide Squad one actually had a belly button. There was one of these figures that didn't have a belly button. They did
with Jinx, which is weird. But yeah, I think it was the Harley. I think you're right. What were you gonna say, Luis?
Yeah, this is just Hot Toys trying to make that accurate Ahsoka from the movie, from the Clone Wars movie that came out back in 2008. I think some design aesthetics, obviously, you know, just kind of looking at some of the actual screen grabs, you know, lifting up the waistline, I think would help some, but that's just what Filoni came up with, right? Ahsoka's Filoni's baby, essentially. And I don't know if it's timing with him now being president that maybe he's like, hey, why not, right? It kind of gives me hope for maybe a Slave Leia, but this is just Hot Toys being Hot Toys, where they've already done a Padawan Ahsoka from the series. They might as well try to, put a show accurate or movie accurate costume together really cheaply and see if it'll sell. Whether or not this sells well, I think that's where the sensitivity is going to come from. And yeah, I have 2 daughters. They're nowhere near having that conversation. They see this, they know who it's going to be, and I don't think they're going to question like why is her belly button showing or whatnot when you tell us we can't, show ours. But it's there for the right collector. But it's just also Hot Toys merchandising being a business, right? They've already done maybe 75% of the figure already. It's just them recycling, reusing parts that they've already done and just coming up with a new outfit that we've all seen. So it shouldn't be a surprise. But yeah, given 2026, it is still a bit of surprise that they would have done it. But I don't know, again, if Filoni might have had his hand at okaying this, given he's a new president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still and I know what Shane was saying with regards to the head sculpt and everything, the fact that they now have this actress version so they can use it. But I will think about like my Jinx figure, for example, where like I absolutely love the animated style of figure that character has become in my display. I love it, and they did an amazing job. And even recently when we were talking about other Rebels figures like a Zeb or like Admiral Thrawn and his different helmet and stuff, like if they made those look more animated in nature, that could be one of the coolest Rebels lines that exists, one of the coolest Clone Wars lines that exists, if it actually represented again what we were seeing on screen. I think this is weird to me because it's a bit of an amalgamation of both live action and animated, that it puts it in a weird category. But
that's what they've done with the Clone Wars figures. That's what they've done with them all.
Look, let me just say a couple things here on this. I think in terms of the outfit, why her midriff is exposed, I think that was this was from the initial Clone Wars animated film that came out in 2008, and just thinking back in that era, that was still kind of like the prime time of Britney Spears, when Christina Aguilera was huge, like the pop princess, the pop princesses of that era in pop music, and they would have music videos where their bare midriff was exposed. It was, so to some extent, I think Lucas was copying. He was being reflective of the popular culture of that time, and 22 years later, it's a different era. So we're looking at it in a different perspective. But in some respects, things were maybe not. Maybe they were they sexualized back then? I don't know. To some extent, maybe, but we didn't sort of think of it that way. So it's a different era. Now, in terms of this, I wouldn't get this figure because I did not care for the animated Clone Wars film. I liked some episodes of the Clone Wars series, but the Clone Wars film I thought was kind of a stinker. I do have the first version of the Padawan Ahsoka with Ariana Greenblatt's head sculpt. That was from the Ahsoka series. So I just wouldn't get it because I'm not crazy about that film. In terms of the appropriateness of this, I don't know. I mean, that was what it appeared in the film. I think it's like anything. It's what you bring to it. When I was a kid and Return of the Jedi was out, I was 9 years old, and I never at that time I never sexualized Princess Leia as slave girl. I never thought of it that way. It was only maybe till I was in high school or something that people started talking about, or college even, that became a thing. And I still want that slave girl Leia figure. Now you'd have it, and yes, people would kind of joke about it because that's kind of become part of the popular culture of Princess Leia in that gold bikini. But I think they should make that figure. I mean, they've had 3 3/4-inch versions of that figure. I'm pretty sure they have had 3 3/4-inch versions of Ahsoka in this outfit. So, if you're going to be a creeper, then you're going to be a creeper. But there's no reason to, I think, sexualize this figure. I think if you are, then there's something messed up with you, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, difficult subject, guys. Thanks for handling that professionally as well. I appreciate it, because it is a touchy subject. Again, I don't want to say that sexualizing anybody, especially a minor, is okay. That is not okay. But this is also supposed to be a cool representation of a character that we saw on screen and can love. And if you like this character and this representation, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think the most egregious part of this whole figure, honestly, is this shoulder seam. Holy mother of God, is that an ugly shoulder seam on a figure, especially, again, when I look at my Arcane Jinx figure, who has seamless shoulders and upper body, but like with collarbones and everything, it's crazy. Like, it looks amazingly seamless. This is rough. That puts this very much in the toy category at the shoulders, for sure. So this is a skip for me, though. Either way, it's just not a character that I need in the display. But I also do hope that we do get some of these other characters then that we've been missing out on. If they're going to give us something like this, why not give us all of them then as a result, right? Let us fill out our displays with characters that we want, who also have impactful sections of film to watch. What about this little hut? It's kind of cute. I kind of like it. As well,
they threw that in so it has a bag to cover up the stream. She has a bag with 2 straps, so it covers up the seams. I think the cloak look is the coolest look, though, with the Lekos coming through.
Look is cool. Absolutely.
Just like cloaks on characters in general.
We had 112 people watching live a couple minutes ago. That is a Let's Get Nuts show podcast record. So thank you all for being here today and getting nuts with us on Sunday. I definitely appreciate you guys. If you haven't had a chance already, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it would certainly be appreciated. If you guys are seeing the Buy Me a Coffee link up in the top right corner, if you don't know what that's for, it's just for supporting the channel. We're going to use the money towards giveaways, as well as StreamYard and all of the expenses for the channel here, while the show is currently demonetized until at least July. So if you do want to support the show other ways, other than just being here watching, hitting like, and all those things, that is a great way to do it. I do want to say a special shout out to Luis. It looks like here says, keep up the amazing work, with a $50 coffee order. So, dude, thank you so much for the generosity, man. That is really generous. With friends like you, I barely will never need another cent. Let's be honest.
You don't understand. One fundraiser with my pals, you'll never need another cent.
Thank you so much for your generosity, man. I appreciate you. Let's move on to our boy Qui-Gon Jinn. This is one that I think collectors definitely want and have been asking for a pretty long time, especially since the 1.0 version came out with pretty like rock solid chunky hair, right? It got to the point where you could practically not even turn his head because of how far down the plastic hair comes down the back. And while that figure, in my opinion, had actually excellent likeness, especially for its release time, there was definitely a call to action when Artisan came to fruition. And, Qui-Gon was easily one of the most requested, in my opinion, from what I've seen from collectors of the Artisan line. So the fact that they're finally giving us an Artisan edition Qui-Gon Jinn, I think, is pretty freaking great. Once again, shout out to 6 Scale Treasures on Instagram. I'm going to show some of his side-by-sides here in a moment so you guys can see what the 1.0 looks like versus the 2.0, and we can have a little debate on that, because I will admit today in our Let's Get Nuts show sheet chat, there was a bit of hot debate amongst the guys here as to whether this new one is actually better or worse than the original. When I take a look at this, it definitely looks way more hyper-realistic. You can see the left side is the new 2.0, the right side is the 1.0. Paint applications have obviously improved in the last 6 years quite dramatically. But I will say that the 1.0 actually has better coloration with regards to the outfit itself. It's more like yellowed, kind of like sandy, dirty. Yeah. That actually looks more in line with the film itself. And the actor himself was pretty young still at this point, so didn't necessarily have wild age lines and all of the above. He was still getting older, but like still had pretty smooth skin, and so I think that the 1.0 really still looks pretty freaking great, if I'm honest. Both have their wins, but again, you can see here photos of the actual actor in his outfit, and yeah, the new 2.0 is almost too clean, almost a little too old, and there's areas in his brow and kind of like his eyes and brow and forehead that look a little I want to say like Neanderthal like, as opposed to what Liam Neeson actually looks like here in some of these screenshots. And so I think it's good, but I don't think it's necessarily significantly better than the original, other than the fact that I do think that the paint applications of the skin are better. I think if you still have that original one, there's no slouch in just keeping that potentially. That, both. You guys tell us what you need. But for me, this is going to be a skip for now, but I do want Qui-Gon in my display. What I'd really love to see Liam Neeson wise, if I'm honest, is a Ra's al Ghul for the Dark Knight line. If we've got Liam Neeson's likeness, come on, man. I love Qui-Gon, but we need a Ra's al Ghul. So, Mr. 1 Adam 12, what are your thoughts here, buddy, on this? Is this 2.0 better than the 1.0? If so, how, or where was your thoughts at?
Yeah, I think it's certainly it's a few years back, that 1.0, the paint apps and the hair sculpting or the artisan is I'm sure certainly superior. I have the 1.0. I'm happy with that. I'm sticking with that. I don't think this is enough that I feel like I need to upgrade, but I'm happy for people who don't have that 1.0. And clearly this is, when the artisan line started, Qui-Gon Jinn is one of the characters that Star Wars characters that people have been really demanding a artisan version of. So I'm happy for those people who have been calling for this. You're going to be able to get that. Like you, I really, the one Dark Knight, and I have all the Dark Knight, pretty much all the Dark Knight figures in part of my collection, and I have that Scarecrow coming on the way. Ra's al Ghul is the one character that's really a burning hole in my collection that I really desperately want. So I'm hoping now that with the Liam Neeson head sculpt that we can get that Ra's al Ghul figure, Raj, whatever his name is. That's my hope. But I think this is, out of all the releases in the last day, this is probably the win one for collectors.
Absolutely, yeah. Roz, I think, is how he says it. I just watched Batman Begins the other night again I haven't seen it in a little while. Great watch. I would love to collect him. Mr. Pete, tell us how you feel about this figure, bud.
So I was the one leading the charge in the Let's Get Nut chat about thinking that I think the 1.0 is better. Now, take out the equation, the paint apps, obviously, that as you mentioned, Ben, things have improved a lot there. I've got the 1.0 looking at him now. I think it's great. I think this new one is a very good Qui-Gon Jinn, but it's not a good Liam Neeson. It's too angular. It's too old. It looks like a caricature to me. Like a very, I don't know if anybody's watching the Stranger Things Tales from '85 on Netflix at the moment. It's a very
pretty good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's a very stylized looks where everything's sort of quite square, triangular, and it gives you that kind of vibes. Not in the same essence, but it looks like it's a kind of an idealized Qui-Gon Jinn. So I'm not saying it's not a good-looking figure. I just personally think that the softer edging of the 1.0 actually works better when you see the side by sides with the actual actor, because he was quite sort of soft faced there. He's not got particularly angular jaw cheeks, or he hasn't got that squarish jaw. Undoubtedly, the hair means you can do more with it, but I have seen people that have obviously haired the 1.0 sculpt, and that looked brilliant as well. I think probably more egregious for me is two things. If you start this one, Ben, the color of the outfit. Now, I mentioned at the start of the show that the one figure that I'm really disappointed we haven't seen, and I think it's everyone's number one now, is the episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi. His outfit is very, very white, and I think the Qui-Gon one looks much more like Obi-Wan should look in that movie. It's almost pure white. His is that very brown kind of sort of tan look, and it just looks a little bit too white on the new one. And then these two, I can't see Liam Neeson at all in either of these, particularly the one on the left. Of that one, that looks terrible to me. I mean, I'm happy to sort of. I get that other people just sort of instantly see this and say, "Oh, it's a 2.0, it's better." And I'm definitely not one of these people that goes, "Oh, well, I've got the original one, so I need to shit on the new one," because I would have, if I thought this was a home run, I might have even kind of dipped my toe in the artisan, although they seem impossible to get. The whole joke, they're so limited. Trying to get them, I think, would be a nightmare. If you can just skip back to the one with he's standing there with the outfit. What's happened to his lightsaber as well? It seems to have gained about 3 inches on it. Maybe if you go on a couple.
Surgery.
There's another one where you can see the sorry. Yeah, here. So look, you can see. I don't know. It looks longer to me. It looks like he's had a little bit of enhancement on his, and when you compare it to the real picture one, it's a lot. It's way too big. It's way too long. It looks almost like a mall, the half mall one. I'm just nitpicking now, but I think they could very easily, obviously, change the color of the outfit, and that would be that's an easy win there. Just put it in some tea. And you're good.
Put it in some tea.
I'm just disappointed that they haven't nailed the sculpts. To me, there's nothing wrong with it. If you haven't got the other one, pick it up. It's going to be, as I say, it's a great Qui-Gon. I just don't see Liam Neeson in it at all. I think that the 1.0 is Pete blind. See, I knew it. I know. But it's all in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
I think it's because you're using the phrase, I don't see Liam Neeson in it at all, Pete. I think that's the bit people are struggling with. So is this a 0 out of 10 for a Liam Neeson likeness? Out of 10? No, come on. Is it a 0 out of 10?
I know who it is because I know who the character is. And obviously, his look is very much that kind of goatee beard type thing. But I showed it to my wife who hates these figure things, really. And she agreed with me, and that was good enough for me because what she says goes. She's always right, obviously. So I know it's coming. I think a lot of people that it's coming across as like, I don't want to buy the new one, but honestly, I just don't see it. It's not Shane. From a likeness point of view, I don't see Liam Neeson in there. I'm not saying it's not a well-made sculpt and well painted and everything, but I won't be upgrading mine. And where is Obi-Wan? Come on, there's not even a tease of him in the background of any of these promotional shots, and it's the Hopefully we'll get it tomorrow. We've got one more chance, but if not, why not? Come on.
If not, why not? You love to see it. Mr. Shane, that was a divisive take from Pete. What's your retort, sir?
I'm glad I'm going second. I'm glad I'm going second because then I'll feel like I'll have the last word and then I'll go to bed and bye. Okay, so we'll start off with what I agree with him on. Yeah, I don't believe Pete is the type of person who has the 1.0 and then is jealous of the 2.0 and then is just craps on it for the sake of crap. I've known Pete long enough; he doesn't do that. So, hat tip, respect. He's right about the white tabards. They're more accurate on the 1.0. They're a bit more, I suppose, weathered up, yellowed. He's right about that. Lightsaber, that wouldn't really bother me, to be honest. Like, it's just like, it is what it is.
That was just a nitpick. It wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. We knew. But in terms of like realism, there's two things that make a good sculpt, in my opinion. Does it look like a real life human being? This 100% looks like a real life human being. Whereas the Hot Toys one, at certain angles, does look toyish. He's got that dead stare because of the lack of rolling eyeballs, and the plastic hair, although they're good at sculpted hair, they get progressively better. It was an issue in terms of posing. I think the tailoring is better on the new one, personally. And I do think the head sculpt looks so much better. The detailing and the weathering, people are saying he's going to look older. But we've seen this happen a lot of times before. That a lot of these prototype images, they seem to have extra wrinkles. But then the prototype, it softens from proto to product. And you do get a softening and slightly less detail. And it brings down the age a bit. And I think that will happen here. I can see. Sure. I think it's a fantastic head sculpt in terms of realism and likeness. I can definitely see Liam Neeson here, but yeah, we're just on opposite ends of the fence there. But it doesn't matter if this thing had Liam Neeson's fingerprints, pulse. I wouldn't buy it anyway. It doesn't matter how good it is. I wouldn't be in on this at all. So, yep.
Can you imagine if this had a Liam Neeson pulse? That'd be wild.
Yeah, but you know, like, yeah, because like you know when you see like an extreme nitpick, when there's a figure comes out that the community is almost unanimously agreeing on. I'm not talking about this one, but like one that's like, whether you like the IP or not, is absolutely, they've knocked it out of the park, and nearly the community is like 99% there. And then you have someone come out saying something with such a ridiculous nitpick. It's like, my initial thing I think is like, yeah, they actually don't have a shred of his DNA in there either. That's wild, isn't it? It's just people just want the craziest things.
There are times where you see a sculpt and you're like, oh my god, that's like the person on the screen. Like, holy crap. And this, to me, was almost at it first until I started looking at it a little closer, comparing a little bit, looking at the age of him at that time, like some of those things. And then I was like, okay, I can see why some tweaks could be a good thing. I agree with you in terms of the softening of some of the details, though. If they soften some of the details and weathering in his skin, I think they could get it there. I also just think they need to make his face just slightly more slender. It's just a little bit too square or something.
I don't think the softening is done intentionally. I think it's just something that happens from proto to final product, so yeah,
sense.
Not for me anyway.
We also hit $70 so far today on the Buy Me a Coffee link. So we were $30 off of Shane being able to buy a figure today live on the stream. So just so you guys are
pre-order a figure.
Pretty close.
Hold your horses.
Pre-order a figure.
Pre-order. I said
Pre-order. A non-planned one. That's right. Mr. Philly, tell us what your thoughts were, buddy, because those are two, kind of opposite spectrum points there, right? I understand where Pete's coming from, especially in the artistry of the face and what it looks like. But I also definitely do see a Liam Neeson in the sculpt, and I don't think it's bad by any stretch either.
I'm pleased to see I've got some support in the chat, so thank you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. Vote on the poll, guys. Is this better than the 1.0 or worse than the 1.0? Let us know. What do you think, Philly?
I'm not too good with attention to detail like most people are. To me, overall, it looks better than the 1.0. I own the 1.0. And one of the reasons why I think people were looking at the jaw a little too square, it's an optical illusion. It's gotta be the beard, because his beard in the film is just lighter. This is actually sculpted. If they were probably able to root the beard, which I doubt that, people would probably see the face a little more how it's supposed to be. But the 1.0 is great, but it's a little soft. I think the newer one, it looks like a real person with the rooted hair, the artisan hair, and the sculpt more crisp, and and it's like I always ask myself, does the guy not that if the guy looks like Liam Neeson, does he look like Liam Neeson playing Qui-Gon Jinn? And back in the day, I mean, it's 1999. He does look a little older on the sculpt, but I'm happy with it. I'm actually looking forward to updating it. I'm just glad that they didn't use the same head sculpt, but just put the hair on it and just give us a kind of a half-assed job. So, but in regards to the yellowing on the suit, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm sure they'll fix it or they won't. Doesn't matter either way. But I'm looking forward to. This is one of the ones I will update, and they really should have done an Obi-Wan one. From episode 1, they should have done that alongside with this one. I just don't know why it's taking them so long, because that would have been a much more better win for them if they would have given us both, and we would have, been able to pre-order both of them. So, because
Batman and episode Rambo style combo, hell yeah,
yeah. And episode 1's coming in towards kind of like a, a nostalgic phase. It's been 25 years, and people are now starting to going back. Even myself, when I go back and watch the fight scene with Darth Maul and the two Jedi. So
great scene. Yeah, really
Yeah.
great scene.
oh yeah.
Yeah, well said, buddy. Luis, well, again, last but not least this time, buddy. What are your thoughts here on Qui-Gon Jinn? Oh, are you mute? I've got you mute. There you go.
Sorry, I do like it. I have the 1.0. Do plan on upgrading. I do see a bit of a caricature as well. It's. I think it's a slightly better likeness, and I think the hair does help with that. But I think the beard, they went a little too short or something, or it's maybe not protruding as much. And I do think the head is a little like long-faced. But little tweaks, little nitpicks that they may be able to adjust. But I think maybe in general, if you have them side by side, regardless of price, what would you pick? I think maybe more would just pick the artisan if it's the same exact price, of course. But yeah, I mean, with that duel being my favorite duel of all of Star Wars timeline, I like pretty much everything that I collect. I want the best representation, and if this is the best Qui-Gon that I'm going to get for years to come, here we are 6 years later, maybe 7 by the time it releases, then so be it, right? But I think overall it looks good. Is it like miles ahead for being a 6 to 7 year update? I don't think so. So at that point, it's just preference. But I don't see this being as drastic as like Darth Maul 1.0 was to the 2.0. I think that was a huge change versus Qui-Gon 1.0 and now the Artisan.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's very well said. Very well said. At the end of the day, I do think that this was a necessary artisan. Of so many of the artisans that have come out, this was one that I think made a lot of sense for the artisan hairline. So I do like that aspect. I definitely do see Liam Neeson in the sculpt. If they made no changes to it, I still think it's pretty solid. I think the sweet spot would probably be somewhere in between these two sculpts. Somewhere between the 1.0 and the 2.0, I think, really lies that true likeness sweet spot. But I do think that both are good, and both are good for different reasons. If you don't want to deal with hairstyle, like I don't love the concept of more of my figures having this hair to style going forward, or to work with, or to see how it ages over time, or for the resale value of figures. If you ever want to sell a figure that has rooted hair, what is that going to look like down the line? Like it's a tough nut to swallow overall. But guys, I would say that this one is exciting. It's a win. This was probably my most excited news of all the Star Wars announcements that they've given us so far. Real quick, round table, just yes or no. Did you guys think we're going to get any more Star Wars announcements for the May the 4th week? Adam?
No, and I think the biggest shame is where's the love for the OT?
Yeah. What about you, Pete? Yes? No?
I'd like to think yes, but no. Hot Toys, probably no. And again, just to reiterate, where is Episode 1 Obi-Wan? Come on, I've got the sideshow one here. He's holding his own, but that is what 15 years old now. That needs an update.
Needs an update. Absolutely. What about you, Shane? Yes or no? Do you think we're going to get any more Star Wars?
Nope. Not for you might get more original trilogy, but not for May the 4th. The last time we got an original trilogy figure for May the 4th, I believe, was 2023, and it was the Return of the Jedi C-3PO and Vader.
And the Vader. Crazy. What about you, Philly? Yes or no? Any more Star Wars this week?
I like to think so, but no. And one reason why is because we're looking at Celebration next year, so maybe they're saving all their good stuff for next year.
That's fair. I think that might be the case, especially in terms of A New Hope. potentially next year a lot more.
Hopefully. To Philly's point, there's actually 3 opportunities next year where I could see Hot Toys making Star Wars announcements. Celebration circa April 1st, or right before April 1st. Then May the 4th of next year, 2027. Then circa May 25th on the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. So they could, starting in late March and all the way through the end of May, Hot Toys could potentially be just carpet bombing collectors with Star Wars announcements.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild. What about you, Luis? Yes or no? Any more Star Wars this year, do you think, at this point? At least in terms of this May the 4th week.
I think we may get some more Star Wars towards the end of the year. I'm still kind of hoping something for the 10-year anniversary of Rogue One. But I think for May the 4th, I think that's it. And like half of these were pretty much already releases that we've seen. So in terms of brand new figures, characters that they've never done, it's kind of lackluster to me. But you know, I'll still end up with half of them, of course, being the simp that I am for Star Wars Hot Toys.
That's fair. Well, that's fair. For me, it's also a no. I don't think there's going to be anything more for the May the 4th week, at least. I'm sure we'll see more Star Wars this year, but not. But of course, not this week. I don't think. I think this is probably it, guys. Unfortunately, hate to see it. I do want to say a quick thank you, though. We did get another Buy Me a Coffee super chat from DeGuito himself. He says, "Justice for Ben, concept artisan Anakin for Shane," with a $10 super chat. So that puts us at 80 of the $100. So if we get 20 more dollars, Shane has to actually pre-order a figure live here, guys. You love to see that.
And Ben gives me 50. This is how it's done. Like we make as if it's impromptu. Are they Canadian dollars? I actually don't need them.
They
it's
are.
fine.
No, they're American dollars.
Do we get to vote on the figure, or is it still Shane's
No,
choice?
there's one that I haven't ordered yet. But I will if I get to 100.
That's fair.
Ben
That'd be artisan Anakin.
That's right. DeGuito, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Love it. Thanks, buddy. Definitely appreciate you. Guys, last but not least of the day, I wanted to talk a little bit about just what's currently in the Hot Toys graveyard, at least on Sideshow at the moment. Mostly because it's kind of the Star Wars week. There's been a couple characters that people are still kind of hoping for that might come out, as well as maybe vehicles and some of these things that have just been existing in the Hot Toys graveyard. And, you know, I think a lot of the time we get teased by announcements from Hot Toys all the time. And then I don't know about you guys, but I forget about a lot of these, especially as time passes. And whenever I go and take a peek at the graveyard every once in a while, I go, oh shit, I forgot that was even ever like a thing. So let's take a look here in terms of the graveyard, at least when regards to characters like Star Wars, but all of the above, right? So, you know, we're seeing things from, Team Suit Mantis in there. What's that, sorry?
Kirk, Exo-6.
The Exo-6 Kirk. I don't think that's ever coming at this point. Not with how bad that Bones was. We'll see. We got the Jedi Starfighter here, which is pretty wild, as well as an Anakin Skywalker. I did forget about this Anakin in my mind's eye. I forgot that they'd ever even teased it. What else is in here? The fourth sister, fifth brother. The battle droid. I thought we got a battle droid. Am I mistaken? Was it the Geonosian?
Yeah, we only got a Geonosian. We didn't get the Boo one. Death Star Commander. I'd love. I wouldn't want the diorama with it, but the figure up.
Yeah. That diorama is pretty sweet, though. If I'm honest, guys, let us know in the chat if any of these are standing out to you as ones that you're hoping for still come. Hono Thor. I think that Hono's dead, guys. I don't think that's ever. I don't think that one's ever coming back. Jedi Starfighter, I forgot about that one. Yeah. The Mandalorian and Grogu stick scale. What is this figure set? Is this just a cockpit, or was this the actual the
no, this was the whole thing.
Well?
It was the whole thing,
right?
I saw it in person. It's huge.
You did?
Yeah, at Comic-Con.
Clone Commando Fixer in there. Clone Commando Sev. Hard case. Don't even know who that one is. Snowtrooper 6 scale figure. I feel like that's technically kind of out at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Order,
no, that's sequence.
Oh, is that the first order?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. No, tell a lie. the Grogu 6 scale set. I forgot about this, where he's sitting on his his orb thing. That's fun. Gambit and Electra. I don't think we're ever gonna get those.
Those Guardians of the Galaxy, they'll never come.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's
yeah, Adam, tell me which ones of these would you be wanting to see? Which ones do you think are for sure never going to come? You already said that the Guardians there. You think? What about Hope Force?
Did you show Baze Malbus? I thought that was one that they had for a while from Rogue One.
They might have even just removed it. I don't even see Baze on here anymore.
I know I saw pictures of it somewhere. Baze, if that came out, I do think that may still come out. Maybe even this year for the 10th anniversary. That's one I would want, because that would basically complete my Rogue One collection.
There's way more than, but I think they scrubbed most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean,
because there was a lot more, right? There's only 2 pages of them on here right now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
I actually
West,
would
I'm not familiar with that one.
I'd consider getting, if it's like magnetic like that. I would consider getting that Grogu with the little base like that. I think that would be kind of cool for my Mando
to see
shelf.
how it goes. Yeah. Again, though, for a couple $100, I don't know.
It depends the price point and what else it comes with.
Yeah. Clone Trooper 77 says there's a ton of stuff that's been removed from Sideshow coming soon. So yeah,
it's just
there you go.
That old, probably. They're just like
just that old. It's really dead now. really graveyard. Yeah, Pete. Anything on here that you wish or hope that they still actually make, or other than I think you said that pilot?
Yeah, I'd love the Death Star Commander. Yeah, because I don't know. It's a very iconic look for particularly New Hope. I think with those giant helmets. Weird that they did that Death Star gunner way back in the first wave, and that figure goes for ridiculous money. Still, but yeah, I just think this one was a bit of a no-brainer, and that they've teased it twice. This is like the second time around. It was on there before, and they've just never done it, which I think's that's the one. That's a very simple figure, but I would like I've got a sideshow outfit kind of kit bashed one. But it could definitely do with a Hot Toys upgrade. These obviously the Kirk and Spock. I would have loved a Twok, the Three Kings as they call them. But I think I'm done with Exo-6 now. That whole McCoy thing, I'm out. I'm not interested anymore. Guy's an idiot.
There's a lot of people.
Who knows? Like the thing I think it was you that said that he'll probably just send her that original sculpt just to spite people, and I just think, and I wouldn't be 100% sure that wouldn't be the sculpt that came with it, and when that's £250 of my money, I'm not pissing about with some idiot like that. So I've got my Sulu representation of the Monster Maroon done. Yeah.
Totally fair.
They've also dug in. They've also dug in quite a few figures in here that used to be in the graveyard that, like, for some reason, 5 to 8 years later they announced, like the Robo Kane. That was in 2012 when they and
2012.
It's finally here. Yeah, 2012.
That Nightwing. If that Nightwing was in there for a long freaking time.
Yep. Shame if they don't make MODOK. That's so hilarious.
That Conan's coming out this summer. Plastic.
Yeah.
I think they're announcing it around Comic-Con.
Yep. And this is another one of the what's his name? What the villainy line.
It was Squid Face or Squid Head back in the day, wasn't he? Before they actually had a name for him, yeah.
He's got little suction fingers.
Yeah.
Looking really gross. I wonder if these line of like the fifth brother or the fourth sister, I feel like they're not going to come to fruition.
I would have loved to seen Tron. I mean,
Tron?
I like this the latest film. They teased the figure, but they didn't really, I think because the movie just did terrible, they didn't go for it. And then remember also way back they had a Prometheus figure too.
They did,
which I believe it was I don't know if it was Fassbender's character, but I would have loved a Prometheus figure. from way back.
This figure, they did do the pre-order for the Japanese version on this one, right? But just not this one. I thought they did both.
They did the American version.
Or this is the Japanese version. Sorry.
Yeah.
The American one got. Oh, it's the other way around.
I don't think Sideshow ever got the Japanese version.
That was a
they
vote
just didn't
on their
get-
behalf.
Maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, that makes sense.
They
That
put
makes
it on
sense.
their website, but then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, this is only for
There's
certain
limited
selected
quantity.
markets."
Yeah.
Selected markets, and I had to get mine overseas.
Fair. That's fair. Any on here, Shane, that you'd want to still see come to fruition? Any of these that are like standing out, or do you think most of these deserve the graveyard at this point?
There's a lot of things there that would make some of my friends very happy, but
For sure.
nothing there floating my boat. They can stay there. If you want to go down, I think Pete has the right idea. Like that, it's not the Death Star gunner; it's the control center, isn't it? The detention block.
Commander.
And is that R5D4 beside it? Is that original trilogy branded?
Nah, that's the Book of Boba Bando one.
That can stay there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Pete, I agree with you. Yeah, man. But there's nothing I'd be really like.
Oh, it's Mandalorian. Mandalorian. It says here.
Okay, well,
I think it's season 3. I think maybe. I remember now. I think that's. Yeah, I think this one used rocket boosters to fly or something. Yeah, there's nah. I'm good, Ben. I'm good. But if Kane can get out of there, and I have that on pre-order, anything can get out of there.
Anything is possible. For me, it was the Nightwing. I never thought they'd give us the Nightwing. I thought that was like well dead. Same with we've been still getting Deadpool and Wolverine characters, including that most recent Nice Pool coming out, right, and some of these others. But yeah, no Gambit or Elektra to finish off that Resistance lineup.
The last time they were at San Diego Comic-Con, they actually had a bunch of stuff that it never came to fruition. They had the Michael Keaton's character from Spider-Man, the Vulture. They had the Batman 89 computer. They had all kinds of 1/4 scale Spider-Man. I mean, they had a lot, and I think for some reason it's just those just disappeared. Don't forget they also teased the 2022 Batmobile as well.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about.
Oh, and there used to be a Falcon cockpit on there as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shout out Jetta Patrol here in the chat with us. Thanks for being here, my friend. Definitely appreciate you, and thanks for your feedback on my demonetization video as well. I took your advice and deleted a bunch of shit, and let's hope that it works out for the best. But definitely appreciate you being here, getting nuts with us on a Sunday. Good sir. He says, life-size N1 Starfighter for me. That would be one hell of a flex, having that on the display. That thing would be freaking awesome. Mr. Luis, what about you, bud? I mean, you've got such a sizable Star Wars collection back there. Is there anything here you're hoping come back to life from the graveyard?
I would have liked the Falcon cockpit, and if not the cockpit, 'cause I know Jazz made a really good one, but just like the behind the cockpit, kind of cutaway type thing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great little display that doesn't take up a ton of space. I think the Death Star officer there, that would have been nice to kind of have that vintage Kenner 12 back display, which I think a lot of people want as well. But I mean, as far as these other ones, they're either variants or, background characters. I could see why they didn't make it. So, nothing that I have to have, but again, it's one of those, maybe if the price is right, but my collection is doing just fine without these characters for sure.
Majority of them, for sure. I'm shocked they didn't give us that Grogu, because I feel like they've given us everything Grogu, but they're like, nah, let's just save it for a future release, right? So, guys, that is the show for the day. I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat. Today is a record streaming number, guys. So we hit, from what I can see, 127 people at our peak, which is by far a Let's Get Nuts podcast record. So thank you guys so much for getting nuts with us here on a Sunday. I really appreciate everybody's support. Everybody who is either watching, liking, subscribing, or buying a coffee, any of those things are go a long way. It's really, really appreciated, guys. So thank you so much. Mr. 1 Adam 12th, co-host of Let's Get Nuts Show. Anything coming up for you, buddy, on your channel that you're excited for? Ben, panel, great discussion. Hope everyone has a fantastic
May the 4th. Check out, I just got the Highlander figure, Connor McLeod. There can only be one. So just unbox this and check out my unboxing short. Now, I know some people, there's some QC issues with this figure. I did not run it. Fortunately, I did not run into any, but I know a lot of people did. But I like it. It's a cult classic from the 1980s, and check it out. That's on my site. Just posted last night.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Definitely check that out. I think it was the sword that was having an issue I've seen in some of the chats, right? So
yeah, and also wrist pegs and some folks have had problems with broken wrist pegs.
You touch on that in your video as well, buddy?
No, because I didn't have any issues with mine.
Didn't have any more. Okay. Keep an eye out then for the wrist pegs and the swords, guys, in terms of QC, if you are getting that in. But Mr. 1 Adam 12th, make sure you go and subscribe to his channel as well. Good stuff over there always, and an awesome person. So appreciate you, buddy, for being here as is tradition on your Sunday. Mr. Pete, Only Fools and Collecting, a division of Collecting Weekly. You've got your new podcast host now, Aaron from Aaron Articulates, in with you as well. Anything coming up for you guys that we can be excited?
Yeah, we're due to go live this week, probably Thursday. As normal, although we might move it about just because obviously Aaron's a new dad for the second time, so he's got a very little one in the house, and he's got sort of feeding routines and things like that. So we're just working around those, but we will stream this week, and I'm really hoping. And obviously it's a fully Star Wars themed show. I am hoping that we get some. I mean, happy May 4th, everyone, because we've hit that here in the UK and Shane in Ireland. And I do hope that we get an Obi-Wan tomorrow, but I'm not hopeful, but I will dream. So hopefully we'll have at least one more figure to talk about this week. But yeah.
Hope so. So far, they live in the future, guys, and they don't have it yet, so it's not looking too bright. But we'll see. We'll see.
No.
Maybe Ireland will get it first, of all places. Mr. Shane, 16-figure focus. Anything coming up for you, buddy? And thank you so much, Pete, for being here. Mr. Shane, thank you so much for being here as always. Are you sharing us anything here, bud?
Just check my phone now.
Pull up for you.
And I'm no, nothing yet.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Good to see everyone. Great engagement in the chat there. I'm supposed to be doing the Hope Show tomorrow night, but I'm not, because I'm going to be playing a game tomorrow called that I like to call Drink the Beer. Yeah, no Hope Show tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday night. Stay tuned.
Love that. Stay tuned, guys. It might be a sneaky Pete kind of episode. So, dude, thanks for being here as always. Thanks for helping fundraise on the show today. We are about $100 away from our $500 giveaway, guys. So that is exciting. If we hit that over the next week in terms of buy me a coffees, we will do a figure giveaway next week on Sunday. So very, very excited for that, guys. But Mr. Philly, I'll go to Luis here first. Anything coming up for you, Luis, that you are excited for, good sir, with regards to your collection or setup here?
I appreciate you having me as usual. Awesome panel, guys. Always a pleasure. Celebrating the 4th tomorrow. So happy May the 4th to Pete and Shane there. Going to the Mecca Disneyland to celebrate that. Try to get into the cantina, have a drink there. But actually have a stream coming up on Civilized Scoundrels with Darth Profi and Commander Green and Eric. So that's coming up Tuesday. What some call Revenge of the 5th, or you may have Revenge of the 6th. So, optional. But that's coming up Tuesday about 5:30 Pacific. And we just talk purely Star Wars, of course. So you want to check that out. But other than that, man, just trying to save, and what I do save, I spend in Lego or other dumb stuff like Spirit jerseys, but like a true collector, right? Wherever we're not buying our main focus, we're buying something else for the justification. But in any event, I appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Like I said, didn't want to celebrate May the 4th without you guys and without chatting all things Star Wars. So thank you again.
Hell yeah, dude. So happy to have you back, man, as always. Thanks for being here. with your crispy collection. Good luck at Disney. Be safe on the rides, all the things as well. Don't get hit by any droids. Yeah, we'll see how she goes. So
with lightsaber sticks, man.
That's right. Billy, sorry I skipped over everybody. I thought I heard you have family in the background. So anything coming up for you, my friend, that you are excited for with regards to collecting or your YouTube channel, good sir?
I do have family in the background. Wife has the most perfect opportune time, so she's leaving right now. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Ben. Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. You know? I know. May the 4th coming up. I just did a particular video for top 5 Star Wars figures for 2026, which I'm really proud of. Check it out on my YouTube channel. Just 10 minutes. It's a really quick top 5, but it's a lot of cool Easter eggs and funny stuff in there. So check it out. I will also be doing a new stream, a photography stream, and it's called Hot Shots, and it will be premiering on Wednesday in a couple of days. I'll post the link and everything, but I will be having the wonderful Mandy photographer to be my guest for my first Hot Shots show. So that should be exciting. And then also, I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat. The movie's coming out next Friday, so I'm gonna try to do something, work it in between. But I'm looking at something in stop motion, so keep an eye on that for a couple of weeks. I'll have something to celebrate the movie release, and I hear it's doing really well. And I heard it's really good, and hopefully it does well. So, but if you guys are lovers of the game, go check out the film. I think they learned their lessons from the first one, which I didn't like. I think they did a better job this time. So, but again, thanks for having me.
It's getting good reviews. I am excited.
It is.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I heard some good stuff about it. So, thanks for having me, and it's always a pleasure, guys. Happy May the 4th, and we'll hang again sometime soon. So, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Guys, if you like my channel, please do me a favor and go and subscribe to all of these guys' YouTube channel. They take time out of their Sunday to sit here with me for 2 hours. I don't pay them to be here. They do it at their own volition and through friendship and the love of the game and collecting. And so that means a lot to me. Philly's video, for example, of the top 5, those videos can take sometimes a couple hours to make if you really want to put the time into it. And sometimes the algorithm is not helpful and it doesn't show it to anybody despite the amount of work that goes in. So if you get an opportunity, sometimes in YouTube, you'll see that there's a hype button that you can click on a friend's video. Click that hype button. Valkyrie Magnus does that for me all the time. And man, does that ever shoot my videos into the stratosphere sometimes for the algorithm. So if you like any of these guys here or including me, and you see those videos go up, it makes a huge difference to try and train the algorithm to actually show the hard work that we put in to this show. And of course, if you guys are here, you're already part of the Ben Thomas Show community, and Let's Get Nuts, of course. If you haven't already hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you're able to. Because the show is demonetized right now, I think the algorithm's being a little bit funky, so it's not showing every video I make to everybody. So if you can hit the bell notification on the channel, if you like what you see here, that's always appreciated as well. It just gets that out to you guys. For the $80 worth of Super Chat coffees today, guys, thank you so much for your generosities, as well as to everybody who just participated in the show today. Hitting a record today just reinvigorates my love of doing this every single week. Again, assuming more news comes up over the next week, we'll do another Let's Get Nuts video next week, of course. But with all of that said, guys, once again, if you like the video, hit the like, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show. And, of course, Mr. Adam, Pete, Luis, Philly, Mr. Shane, we got nuts. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where should I go? What should I do? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. It's gone. It's all gone.